When Jutta Leerdam crossed the finish line and saw her name flash at the top of the scoreboard at the Winter Olympics, the world witnessed what instantly became one of the most replayed and talked about moments of the Games. Cameras caught her dropping to her knees, eyes wide with disbelief, hands trembling as she processed the magnitude of what she had just achieved. Within minutes, the clip flooded social media timelines. Within hours, it became a viral sensation. But behind that golden moment, behind the tears, the radiant smile, and the iconic embrace that followed, was a story far deeper than the medal itself. Now, Leerdam is opening up about what really happened in those emotional seconds, the silent battles she fought leading up to the race, and why that gold medal meant more than anyone realized. A dream years in the making. For Dutch speed skaters, the Olympics are sacred. The Netherlands lives and breathes long track speed skating. From childhood, athletes are taught that Olympic ice is the ultimate stage. For Leerdam, that dream began long before she ever stepped onto an Olympic oval. Growing up in the Netherlands, she was surrounded by skating culture. Frozen canals, packed arenas, and national pride shaped her early years. She had talent, yes, but talent alone doesn't build an Olympic champion. It takes discipline, sacrifice, and a willingness to endure pain most people will never understand. Leerdam's junior career showed promise early on. She captured world titles, broke junior records, and quickly established herself as one of the sport's rising stars. Yet success at the junior level often creates pressure at the senior level. Expectations mount, comparisons begin, every performance becomes a statement. By the time she qualified for the Olympics, she was no longer just a promising athlete, she was a contender. The pressure before the race. In her recent reflections, Leerdam admitted that the days leading up to her gold medal race were some of the most mentally exhausting of her life. The outside world sees confidence, she explained. They see the glam, the social media posts, the photos. But inside, I was terrified of disappointing everyone. The weight of national expectation is heavy for any Dutch speed skater. The Netherlands consistently dominates Olympic podiums in the sport, and every athlete carries that legacy with them. One misstep can mean heartbreak, not just personally, but nationally. Leerdam described sleepless nights in the Olympic Village. She replayed past races in her head, questioned her training decisions, and wondered if she had done enough. Even elite athletes struggle with self-doubt. She revealed that just days before her race, she experienced what she called a mental spiral, an overwhelming rush of fear that she might not perform at her best when it mattered most. I had trained perfectly, she said. My body was ready. But my mind kept asking, what if? The start that changed everything. On race day, the atmosphere inside the arena was electric. The Olympic oval buzzed with anticipation. Fans waved Dutch flags. The ice gleamed under bright lights. It was the kind of setting athletes visualize for years. Leerdam's event, one of the most explosive disciplines in speed skating, leaves no room for hesitation. The margin between gold and silver can be measured in hundredths of a second. When she stepped to the starting line, she made a quiet promise to herself, skate free. I told myself, you don't owe anyone anything. Just skate. The gun fired. Her opening lap was strong but controlled. She focused on rhythm, breathing, and technique, everything drilled into her through years of repetition. Midway through the race, she felt something shift. Her legs were burning, but her stride felt powerful, fluid, fast. I didn't feel fear anymore, she said. I felt flow. That sensation, often described by elite athletes as being in the zone, carried her through the final stretch. She lunged across the finish line, exhausted and uncertain. Then she looked up. The scoreboard shook. The clock stopped. Her time was unbeatable. Leerdam described the moment she realized she had won Olympic gold as a blur of sound and silence at the same time. I heard screaming, she said. But I also felt like everything went quiet. The now viral footage shows her eyes widen as she processes the numbers. She covers her mouth. Her knees buckle. She collapses onto the ice. That collapse wasn't choreography. It wasn't planned. It was pure release. All the fear, all the pressure, all the sacrifices, they came out in that 1 second, she explained. She later revealed that she thought about her family immediately. Her parents, who had driven her to countless early morning training sessions. Coaches who believed in her during slumps. Teammates who pushed her in practice. And the younger version of herself who once skated on frozen canals dreaming of this exact stage. The viral embrace. One of the most shared images from the Games wasn't just Leerdam on the ice, it was the emotional embrace that followed. As she stepped off the rink, she locked eyes with someone special in the crowd. The hug that followed quickly became a trending moment worldwide. Though the spotlight often focuses on medals, Leerdam made it clear that the embrace symbolized something deeper: gratitude. That hug wasn't about the gold, she said. It was about the journey. Support systems are often invisible in sports narratives. Fans see podiums, not the grueling training camps. They see medals, not injuries. They see smiles, not breakdowns. Leerdam's embrace reminded viewers that even the strongest athletes lean on others. Battling doubt and criticism. In the age of social media, athletes live under constant scrutiny. Leerdam, who has built a strong online presence, has often faced criticism from those who believe glamour and elite sport don't mix. She has been called too focused on image. She has been questioned for brand partnerships. She has even been accused of being distracted. Her Olympic gold served as a powerful response. "I've always believed you can be both," she said. "You can love fashion, you can enjoy social media, and you can still be a serious athlete." Behind the scenes, she worked relentlessly. Early mornings, double training sessions, strict recovery protocols, nutritional discipline, none of it glamorous. None of it viral. The gold medal validated years of unseen work. A new era for Dutch speed skating. Leerdam's victory also symbolized generational transition. Dutch speed skating has long been dominated by legends who set historic standards. With her Olympic triumph, Leerdam firmly established herself among the sport's elite. Her performance was not just fast, it was commanding. Technically sharp, strategically flawless. Analysts praised her powerful starts and sustained acceleration, noting that her race execution reflected maturity beyond her years. In interviews afterward, she remained grounded. "This is one race," she said. "I'm proud, but I'm still hungry." The emotional aftermath. What many didn't see were the quiet hours after the celebration. Leerdam admitted that once the adrenaline wore off, exhaustion hit her like a wave. She returned to her room, placed the medal on a table, and simply stared at it. "It didn't feel real," she said. "I kept thinking I would wake up." She FaceTimed family members. She replayed the race. She read messages pouring in from around the world. The clip of her reaction had already amassed millions of views. The internet crowned it one of the most emotional Olympic moments in recent memory. Yet for Leerdam, the most meaningful part wasn't the views. It was the messages from young girls saying they felt inspired, she said. More than a medal, Leerdam emphasized that her gold represents resilience as much as speed. There were setbacks along the way, races she lost by tiny margins, injuries that interrupted momentum, days when motivation felt distant. She shared that at one point in her career, she questioned whether she could truly handle Olympic pressure. Doubt creeps in quietly, especially in a sport where milliseconds define success. But she leaned into growth. "I learned that fear doesn't mean you're weak," she said. "It means you care." That perspective shift changed everything. Life after viral fame. Winning Olympic gold is transformative. Going viral amplifies that transformation. Leerdam's follower count surged overnight. Brands reached out. Media outlets clamored for interviews. Yet she remains focused on the ice. "I don't want to be remembered for a reaction," she said. "I want to be remembered for performances." She has already begun mapping out future goals: world championships, record times, sustained dominance. The viral clip may live forever online. But for Leerdam, it represents a stepping stone, not a final chapter. Redefining strength. One of the most compelling aspects of Leerdam's story is how she embraces multidimensional identity. She refuses to shrink herself to fit stereotypes of what a champion should look like. She can pose for high fashion shoots and power through brutal training blocks. She can celebrate femininity and chase speed records. Her Olympic gold moment symbolized that blend. Strength can be fierce and graceful. Confidence can coexist with vulnerability. Victory can come with tears. The legacy of that moment. Years from now, Olympic highlight reels will still feature the clip, Leerdam collapsing in disbelief, the scoreboard glowing behind her. But knowing the story behind it changes the way we watch. We see the sleepless nights. We see the mental battles. We see the courage to skate free despite fear. Leerdam hopes fans understand that greatness isn't built in one race. It's built in thousands of quiet repetitions long before cameras roll. "If someone sees that moment and thinks it was easy," she said, "I hope they hear this: it wasn't." What comes next? With Olympic gold secured, expectations rise even higher. But Leerdam seems ready. She has embraced the responsibility that comes with being a champion. She speaks openly about mental health. She encourages young athletes to pursue big dreams without apology. The viral moment may have introduced her to millions. But her authenticity is what keeps them watching. As she looks ahead, she remains clear-eyed. Gold is beautiful, she said. But the journey, that's what I'll remember most. And perhaps that's why the moment resonated so deeply. Because in those few seconds on the ice, the world didn't just see a champion. It saw a human being who dared to believe, dared to risk failure, and ultimately dared to win. That's the real story behind Jutta Leerdam's viral Olympic gold medal moment, a story of pressure, perseverance, vulnerability, and triumph frozen in time.